are there so many Saw movies? Like, seriously, who asked?
Great question. Agreed. Way too many.
Way too many, right? Like, I feel like with Saw, it can go one or two ways. They're either going to outsmart the game or they're gonna die. You made that principle in the first one. Why did we need so many?
Question. When could we have stopped? What's a good number?
2.
See, that's exactly what I was saying. Like, there's one so you can ooh ah at it, and then there's another one so you can like solidify, like, wow, that's a thing. We're good after that.
After that, it's like, what is your point? At least
I
to
will
me, like,
follow up. Is
okay,
that also true of The Purge?
yes, and I've never seen The Purge. I'm gonna go ahead.
Hard, okay, hard disagree because as much as I can't stand Saw, I'm down with The Purge.
Really?
Scares the
I just
crap out of me, but it hits different.
the thing with me and The Purge was I feel like Purge it could happen, so it bothered me a little more. Like, at what type of society breakdown do we have to go through that Purge night becomes a thing? Like, I feel like we're, like, 1 to 2 years away from that. So, for me, having all this foreshadowing actually existing, that bothers me.
Oh, you know what you just did? This will have to be another episode, so I'm gonna write this down on our list.
Okay, okay.
There is a show that people have said is a bit of foreshadowing. And literally last week I had this like light bulb of like, oh crap, they're right. And I'm not gonna disclose it now. I'm just gonna put it in the doc so when you see it, talk about it. But
Okay.
I am not here for any of the foreshadowed events, whether it is the purge or what I'm talking.
Yeah, like, I'm not here for it. I'm just not.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I understand that it makes good TV, good movies. I'm just not here for it.
Do you remember the time that you and mom were both closing? So this is obviously back when we lived with my parents. Both of you were closing. I was smack home alone. Like it wasn't someone was coming in late. Like I was alone and going to be alone till at least 11:30, 12 o'clock. And I'm such a genius that I watched The Purge at 7 o'clock. Back then the sun was out. And somewhere in there it got dark and you know where my parents live. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that was very not it. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the last time I watched The Purge.
Yeah, again, sword I'm gonna die on. It may not be a movie that I really need to see. Um, yeah, no.
Yeah, unlike
No.
what we're doing now with like going back and watching things that like culturally and like we missed, pop culture references and stuff. I feel like that's one that you can skip as someone that has seen them. I get why you avoided it and you don't need to circle back to that. It's okay.
Agreed.
There's no water cooler conversations happening with that movie. It's fine.
But they are with Final Destination? Like, wait a minute.
But there are. Look at what's happened to your TikTok. They are engaging.
That is true. That
They
is
see
that is
that
very
you're
true.
more interested in this than I am. I'm the one that's got to sit through it. So today's topic specifically is movies that there's just too many of them. We didn't ask for all these movies and yet they exist. So since this one was my idea, I'm gonna go first um with the one movie franchise that, and you can be mad at me all you want. I don't even think it needed two, dude. I think we were fine at one. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and y'all are gonna be like, what? And I'm gonna be like, yep.
Yeah, okay.
And
I'm with
then
you.
I'm gonna follow up with a movie franchise that I didn't think would get more than one and did amazing. So
Okay.
I'm gonna give you 2 from each. I'm gonna give you 1 from each side. So, the
Okay.
first you already know this one. We talk about this one all the time. We just talked about it 5 minutes ago. You guys take a second. You are not allowed to judge me. I do not understand, and I don't care how many bulletin points you can make me a PowerPoint. You can send me an entire senior thesis on this. I don't understand why there are so many Fast and Furious movies. I have seen the first one and the second one, and after that, I stopped caring. I can't tell you who is or is not still in this movie. I mean, Dom, I guess, right? That makes sense. There's some stuff going on with The Rock, right? Is Jason Statham in this, or is that the Hobbs and Shaw thing? I have no idea. I'm not even being
I
funny.
feel like he made an
Tyrese,
appearance
how's that
originally.
going? Like, I have no idea. What's the girl's name? Is she still around? The sister? No clue. I'm not even being funny. Why so many movies? Explain that to me.
So my relationship with the Fast and Furious movies, I'm just gonna be honest. People can like dislike me after this. I've only seen 3 of them. I did not see the original. The first one I saw, I think, was Too Fast, Too Furious, and then I saw Tokyo Drift, and then I've seen the one before Hobbs& and Shaw. Was that no, there was another one before that. The last one with may he rest in peace, my friend Paul. That was those are the 3 that I've seen. I don't understand the hype, and
Yeah, I
I
don't.
love fast
And I
vehicles, like,
love the
mm,
whole car thing. I just don't think it's necessary to have what are we at? 10? I don't know. Because then
I
with the
have no
Hobbs and
idea.
Shaw, I don't know how that like lines up. But I just don't. I feel like we're dragging it out, and your story makes no sense. And I know that's the point of a movie. Like it's not really supposed to make sense. I just thought that 1 and 2 were so good that we were we were fine leaving it there.
Okay.
I have a well. I have the same feeling sorta with The Godfather, but I understand why you had to do 3 of them
Okay.
because
Yeah,
2
no, The Godfather
failed
needed
so
3 because
hard.
2 ruined it.
2 was so bad that you had to make a 3rd,
You had to
but
make
you
3.
had to make a 2 because 1 was so good. So,
Right,
I
right.
get it, but oh my gosh. And I mean, having seen them, do you have to see 2 in order to see 3?
You know, I also have people that argue about the order of Godfather,
Oh, it's
who
not in.
say who say that you actually watch 2 after you've seen 3?
Yeah, the correct order of the movie is 3, 1, 2. I
Right.
think that might be incorrect because 2 is when he's younger. So, I mean, maybe the order's 2, 3, 1. I don't know. I'll have to do some I have no problem watching that this weekend and figuring it out. How about that? That's my The Godfather is ooh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. So my other movie that I had no idea what I was getting into, that it was going to be a good movie. And not only did they bless us with 2, if I'm not mistaken, there are 4 of these bad boys. I don't mean bad boys. I just realized what I did there. I, um,
That's what you
yeah,
did there.
yeah, that's no, but I didn't mean to do that there. Um, I am I'm gonna cheat and look up real quick how many of these there are. Hmm. Oh God,
I feel like
there
mine
might
are gonna kinda
there
shock
might
you.
there might be 5. You're
Okay.
lying. Like, uh, this is not good. Now I don't even know how many of them there are. Okay, let's count. Wow, there's 5 of them. You're joking. Good for you. Okay. So, oh, the 5th one may not actually happen. So there's 4 for sure, and a 5th one that's been rumored for going on 15 years. That's hilarious.
Serious.
If it's been 15 years, how about we just don't make it? Okay?
Make it.
How about we
I don't
just
think it's meant to be.
yeah, if we're kind of and then this show apparently also has like some TV runoff stuff too. So,
Okay.
sorry for the delay. My movie that I thought was like I thought it was cool, don't get me wrong. Like I had it on DVD and I watched it like every day. Like I thought it was cool. I had no idea that we'd get so many and it would be like a thing, like it would be a hit, which maybe that's just me because of my age when this came out. But my movie that caught me all the way off guard is Shrek.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with
You
it. I'm with
yeah.
it.
Like if you think about Shrek 1 and 2, and I'm cheating because I Googled this, they're 3 years apart.
They
So
are. They
you
are.
had plenty of time to like watch it at your house and like fall in love with it, and then they gave you another one, and then the third one came out 3 years after that. So they've got a pattern of every 3 years a movie is
Years.
coming out. So that's
Yeah,
why I don't feel like Shrek 5 is happening because it would have come out in 2013. So you are 7 years
correct.
behind, which is not to say if you came out with one right now, I wouldn't watch it because heck yeah. Um, but I was really surprised that Shrek became such a thing. Um, and not just the movie, but just like the little plush stuff and like we were saying about
He
like
has
pop
this whole
culture.
interactive thing at Universal. I've done it. It's great.
Well, like
Like,
pop culture references and stuff, like the whole onions have layers thing, and how Donkey's like, you could have said cake. And I'm like, no, dude, I vibe with that. Onions have layers. I'm not a cake. I am an onion, okay? And I was like, dude, I'm here for that. And then, like, not that anyone focuses on this part so much, but the be who you are like mindset and like teaching kids like hey it's not all fairy tales and happiness, all right, sometimes this is how you get to where you got to go. And then Fiona being afraid to like show her true self, but then
right.
it's like no, that is the you that I actually want.
And
And this is all
correct me if
happening to
I'm
me as a
wrong.
kid, so I'm like wow, this is interesting. So that's why Shrek was really surprising to me. Again, a lot of people probably saw that, but how old was I in '01? Like,
Right.
9? So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I I kind of have something to add on the note of Shrek. So there is another movie that followed the same type of idea where they were deconstructing fairy tales. Did you ever see Hoodwinked?
yes.
Did you know that there's a second one?
I believe I knew that there was one. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen it.
So the reason I bring up Hoodwinked is Hoodwink and Shrek came out almost back to back to each other.
Mhm.
And whereas I was big on Shrek and loved it, my brother was big on Hoodwinked, and I think he played that
Age.
DVD until it was scratched.
Yeah, age.
Age. And the other reason I feel like he liked Hoodwinked more was the music, because during that period of time, he was really, like, into learning and understanding music. The music is a little bit better than Shrek's, I'm gonna be that person. But honestly, I don't feel like it needed a second one. I don't feel like I don't feel like you needed that second movie. I've seen it, it's okay, I'm not saying don't watch it, I'm just saying I'm not sure you needed
You know what else is a movie that didn't need a second? Whoa. What?
it. What?
You know what's a movie that doesn't necessarily need a second one, but because it's coming so late, it's gonna hit? because a lot of people are doing like remakes or finally giving you sequels that like,
Mhm.
you had it as a kid and now you're getting it as an adult.
Yeah.
Chicken Run is getting a sequel in 2023.
What?
Right? Who asked?
Who asked for that? Like, what type
What are
of
we doing? I don't know that I
how
care. I don't know. Oh, is it gonna be on Netflix? Now that's a game.
look, look here. Netflix, I love you guys, but some of the stuff that you're bringing, stop playing with my '90s heart.
No, but I feel like having the sequel, you're either like, okay, so slightly off topic. I'm hearing that Space Jam, is it called Space Jam 2 or just Space Jam? I guess it's just Space Jam.
I think it's
I'm
just Space
hearing
Jam.
I'm hearing that LeBron Jam did not do well among the adults because it was too much and LeBron's thumb is too much of an impression. And so that's either I'm a LeBron hater, so anything LeBron touches, I don't care, or
Right.
it's hey, you destroyed my childhood, but it wasn't for you, it was for kids. Let's start there.
So I looked it up because I was like, "Isn't it like new something?" The official title for the new Space Jam is Space Jam: A New Legacy. So you didn't even just go into this thing, "Oh, it's gonna be a sequel." No, you said that this is a new legacy. So anyone that's upset because LeBron is doing it, look at the title. It's telling you that this is gonna be something totally different than
Yeah,
the original.
yeah.
I haven't even seen
No.
it yet, but I'm going into this open-mindedly, basically because they're saying, "Oh, new." Like, okay, alright.
Well, not only that, kiddo wants to see it, having seen the original Space Jam couple of weeks ago. And
Okay,
so
yeah,
now she's like, I want to see that one too. And I was waiting to make it like a family thing because if all three of us want to see it, why not just all watch it at the same time? So
right.
that is something we can review that. But I'm glad that if you were gonna have another Space Jam or a remake or whatever, it had to be LeBron.
Yeah. What
No
other
offense to
basketball player
whoever.
can do that? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No
I'm
offense to
sorry?
whoever you think the other person is, but like it had to be MJ to LeBron.
Yeah. Like, I can't think of any other player that could do it. I'm sorry, but Kevin Durant could
Ooh,
never.
shut up. Do not say that name on my podcast ever again.
Um,
You.
Steph Curry could never.
Is Steph Curry even in this? Like I feel like
I
he's like
don't I
you
don't
can
know.
be in the movie, but you cannot be
Be the
the
main.
movie.
There is a reason that in our Space Jam, Charles Barkley shows up, but he's one of the people that gets his talent taken. You can be talented and be in this movie, but there is only one person that can play that role. I'm sorry. If you stood here right now and had a bunch of basketball players standing in front of me and I was supposed to just recognize them, I'd fail. But the second I see LeBron, I know exactly who he is. And that's the same thing from when we were kids with Michael. There is literally, I kid you not, and I'm probably gonna get shunned, but for the longest time, I didn't know basketball was a team sport because of the fact that I only knew the players. Like, I had never seen basketball, and only essence of basketball I ever got was seeing the players, the individual players. I had no idea that the scores go together. I literally just thought, "Oh, they got 100 points in a game." That one person got 100 points in the game.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10-year-old kid. No 10-year-old kid who has no experience with this sport is gonna know, "Oh, he's on a team," but they're gonna know who LeBron is. I can't say that for other players in the league. I can't say that. Now, I think going forward, another player that may be able to do if they decide to do a third, I don't see why they would. If they decided to do a third, I feel like up and coming right now, the next one may be Giannis.
Nope,
You don't think so?
can't do it.
Why
Giannis
not?
is not that LeBron's a great actor either, but Giannis is not an actor, and he is not after. He's not after fame and all that stuff. He doesn't care. He literally just cares about basketball. Which is why Kevin Durant can't do it. Kevin Durant just loves basketball. Why? Basketball. LeBron is a businessman as well as basketball. So, no, because if I'm not mistaken, LeBron is the executive producer of this. So, duh,
Probably.
he's gonna, you know, have his hand in everything. So, did you answer what your surprise movie is?
No, I have not answered the
Go
question.
for it.
All right, so here we go. My biggest theatrical surprise. I feel like I'm gonna get so much hate from
You'll be okay.
that. And it's only because I did not expect it to be so good because of how great the books were. Um,
Here we go.
Anyone that really knew me at any point in time in my life knew that I used to have a lot of time on my hands and I used to do a lot of reading. So, my biggest surprise that I honestly did not expect to be as good as it was and probably could watch over and over again was Harry Potter. I did not expect those movies to be so good. I'm sorry. Like, I'm 1,000% okay that they realized that they couldn't just do the first book and they had to keep going. Like, the first book alone probably could be 3 movies, but the way that they edited and cut out to make Sorcerer's Stone what it was as a cinematic film, okay, I'm alright with it. Now, there are people that I know are gonna scream when they hear that out of my mouth because everyone says the biggest part of Sorcerer's Stone that was left out. I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone. If you wanna know, go read the book.
Please, if you haven't seen Harry Potter or read the book by now, you deserve all the spoilers. Drop it.
So, one of the biggest things that upset a lot of people about Harry Potter wasn't even Harry. I say that Harry did not look the way that he was supposed to have looked. No hate to Radcliffe. He's great. Um, my biggest disappointment was Hermione. Hermione, the way that they depicted her, it irked my nerves. Sorry. It irks me that you let this curly-haired girl have fair skin. Um, I'm that person. She had so much fire and vigor written into her as a character that I expected her to look a lot different. Um, that again is no hate to the actress because don't get me wrong, in other things, I love her. She's just not my Hermione Granger.
So, um, Harry Potter, while it's not going to happen, that is a product of Harry Potter's time. We were
True.
not ready for that back then. That's
No.
just like what is the one who is it? Ariel that ended up being black last year?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
not doing that back then. I was in 3rd grade reading Sorcerer's Stone, and I was living in the deep south back then too, so I can't
True.
imagine what would have happened if any of those characters had been black. Not even black, like just a couple more ticks up the pigment there.
Yeah.
No,
No.
no. So I mean, if I'm not mistaken, didn't she come out and say, yeah, but again, it's not like she's also the director. So
Right. I
so what
do
was it?
also I do also like that towards the end of them doing the films, they gave her more control. Even though right now her mouth has got her in trouble. Um,
I mean,
JK Rowling,
when you got the bank like that, you don't care no more.
who
You're like,
cares?
so you're not
Like,
gonna buy my book that's almost 20 years old? Boo hoo.
right. Boo-hoo.
You already paid my mortgages.
Right. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I obviously I'm not we're not friends. She's not invited to my cookout. She can come to yours if you
right.
like. But y'all you can't be if that's how she feels and she says it at the end of all of her fame, what are you supposed to do? You can't boycott
You can't
something that
undo
you
that.
already bought. Like
Right.
my Harry Potter socks that I bought 2 years prior to her saying that, why would I throw them out? That does nothing for me. What hurts me is to walk past a Harry Potter shirt that I can't buy today.
Hey.
That is where I hurt her pockets. But there's no point in me. So remember how I said like, oh, if it's on TV, I'm gonna watch it. And you're like, no, because then you give it ratings and she gets royalties. And I was like, right, so I'll pop in the DVD. Like, because yeah,
Right.
I got all that on DVD. I got the whole collection. It's all pretty and stuff. I got all the books. But again, you already made your money off of me. So me boycotting you 20 years later does what?
What?
Like you already bought your silverware. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And then okay, so my on the opposite side, the one that I just cannot understand why we have so many of them. I still cannot understand why there are so many in 2 different series. So the first series is Barbershop. Why do we have so many? And why transversely did we end up with Beauty Shop? Don't get me wrong, I love Queen Latifah. That freaking movie was great, but I don't know why we needed it.
Can I
Um,
add one more to this just because of the actor that you brought up? Because I brought
yes.
this up with my coworkers today. Why are there
Yes.
so many Fridays?
Why that was my second one.
Yes. So
Why are there so many Fridays?
my boss teleworks every other Friday, and he made the joke. So it wasn't meant to be a joke, but I made it a joke because I'm a walking dad joke. And so he was like, next Friday. And I was like, I didn't really like that one. And my other coworker laughs because she heard it as a dad joke. And he goes, ah, which he does every single time I make a dad joke. But I was just like, yeah. And so we just pop up and have this conversation of, yeah, no, I don't understand. Also, I don't know if this needs to be a break in the podcast or we need to end it, but food's here.
Oh,
And it's
break
95 degrees
time.
outside, so someone
Break
needs to
time.
go to the door.
All right, break time. Break time.
Intermission.
Intermissions. That's it, guys. There's our first podcast. And I just want to say thank you so much for listening. If you stuck around this long, this is going to be the first of many. And we look forward to giving you some listenings when you go about your days. I just want to say thank you again. Right now, we don't have sponsors, so I have nothing to put at the end of this podcast. And we'll see you in episode 2. If you'd like to submit a question or if you'd like to go forward with maybe sponsoring us for the end of the podcast, you can send all requests to us via our social medias that will be listed or hit me up at LibrasGold@gmail.com. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.